yeah, just the thing on the intro reminded me. I was just seeing if those murderous bitches were back in their pen.
Ah.
Oh, hello.
Alrighty, guys.
What?
Welcome to Pints and
What?
Pistons.
Who's? Oh, we're
doing this.
Yeah.
Oh,
apparently.
that's a camera.
You gonna bring up the chat?
Yeah.
Hi guys, we're Pints and Pistons.
Welcome to our show.
For whatever it is, or whatever this is.
Okay. No, it looked blurred.
You have chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
We
not
don't need
blurred.
statistics. We just need.
on there we're good.
Yeah.
We just need chat.
Hello everyone, and welcome. We are live. I'm Daniel. This is Mike.
That doesn't-
That's
Hi.
Brian, and that's Chris.
Oh.
We are Pints and
We're there.
Pistons.
Oh.
We just
Interesting.
don't have any viewers yet.
We drink beer. We
And
talk
we
about car
cars.
things
Yep.
and subjects of car matter.
Also, I made sure to go out there
Ooh.
and pull the
Ooh.
battery charger off the car.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Salt and fresh lime.
Like I said, so I'm.
I
this was-
really dig this can.
So we're actually opening up instantly. I was just trying to
Yeah,
get everything.
no, we are. We are opening
Yeah,
up the
let's
show with
start
beer.
I
So-
do like the artwork on it.
So anyway,
It's
so
called
as,
a dead
and
parrot.
as it turns out, when I was at Total Line finding this, I was literally just right up the street from Florida Avenue.
I'm keeping my camera.
You know
I
what
like
this
a
is gonna
lot,
taste
actually.
like?
Just adding to it, buddy.
Yeah,
just
sure
adding
am.
to it.
I'm not having a good time with my hands lately, okay?
You don't know what to do with your hands?
No, they're not working right.
Oh, look at that. Look at that
Don't
perfect
look at
pour.
anything. I'll be right back.
Look at that beautiful pour. That
Roll
pour,
that beautiful bean
perfect.
footage.
Not having good.
So let me get in there
Times
and
with
show
my
you
hands
guys
holding
it's a nice clear beer here.
I'm having head problems.
I'm thinking that's not a glass thing or a
No,
beer
it's
thing.
a me
That's
thing.
a mic thing. So what we have here is this is Florida Avenue Brewing. They're down in Wesley Chapel. It is a Florida beer, and this is the Dead Parrot Light Lager with sea salt and fresh limes, and it is 4.2% alcohol.
Very excited for this. This looks delicious.
So yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. Like I said, the last one I brought that I bought at the same time
Sorry.
wasn't the greatest.
We still have not changed our thumbnail in the last 8 episodes.
What's the thumbnail?
I don't know. Some
big
billboard.
It's just
the
it's just our
billboard talking
banner.
about
No.
staying
Oh,
on the
really?
right.
Oh,
That was a miss too. Cool. Anyway.
It's good. It's just one of those. I pulled it up and like.
Well, you can definitely smell the lime in it.
So I think this is gonna taste like that.
Whoa.
What was it? The Quench Seas or whatever by
That's a lot of lime.
Dogfish Head.
Maybe.
Remember that one? The salt and lime,
Yeah,
or
it's kinda-
depending on the amount of lime, it might be like the lime chilada one.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Should be.
cheers, boys. We're starting off the right way.
Yeah.
Cheers.
It smells good.
Oh man.
Oh,
Wow, that's
Hey.
really good.
Now you've got me curious,
What
Mike.
does this taste like?
Whoa.
Now you've got me curious, Mike. Because I do remember a sea salt one before.
We did the dead. I think it was Dead Seas or Sea
But,
Quench or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
but
as
The
I-
that
Dogfish
other
Head
one, the sea salt was way more overpowering.
Yeah, that's
the
what I
sea
was
salt's
saying.
just right.
I was saying,
man.
We've done another one like this.
That's what I'm saying. The other one.
Not this
This is
one.
good.
But
No, I know what you're
something
talking
like
about, but
that.
I
It's
know
a proper-
I know like a sea salt,
Salt
one.
lime lager.
this is that proper like. I've been at the beach all day. It's hot. The sun's starting to go
But you know
down.
why they put the salt in it? It makes you drink more.
Yep, I'm okay with that.
That's delicious.
That is a. You know that'll probably end up in my fridge.
For me, I would like a little bit more lime flavor in it.
Yeah.
Easy drinking, too.
Let's see that.
I would like a little bit more lime flavor. I would like a little bit more lager flavor in it. I know it's a light lager, but still, I would like a little bit more of that.
I get big lager hints on the end, only on the end.
Yeah, the finish of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, on the initial hit, it's basically lime, touch of sea salt.
Yeah, I would like a little bit more lime, and I would, me preferably, would like a little bit more salt.
I'm actually this is perfect to me.
Yeah, I'm okay.
This
on the,
is
I'm
a
okay on the
good
salt
beer.
with this one. It's probably because the last one, if I can find it in the list, was too salty.
See, now I love like the Modelo's one and all of that.
Well, no, as I do recall, I think all four of us were like, it's too much salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was this. It was by Dogfish Head. I know that. Oh, hell, what the hell was the name of it?
I think
I'm
that's
looking. I'm
fantastic.
looking through the list now to see if I can find it. But our list has gotten much longer.
That's very delicious.
That's fantastic to me. I can't say anything else about it. That's perfect. It's about to disappear.
Shoot, I can see the can too. What the heck was it?
There was Dogfish Head Sea Quench Ale.
Yeah. That was the sea salt ale. Did
There
not
was-
have lime in it though.
There's Big Storm Brewing Sunny Key Lime Ale, but that didn't have the salt.
No.
Obviously, the Key Billy didn't
Yeah.
have the salt.
Man, that's good. That's a really
Let's
good
see if
beer.
there's actually anything, because I'm pretty sure I would have put down the sea salt side of it
Yeah.
when I was making this list. I try to be, I try
Yeah,
to get the whole name and style and everything in this list.
I really dig the parrot too, with his skull hanging out.
I was gonna
Very
say,
nice.
yeah, that artwork is
That's why I bought it.
really nice.
And it's really colorful.
That's
too.
why I bought it. I like the
I'm
artwork.
taking the can with me home. I
The
like
Sea
that
Quench was a session sour though.
No, no, it was a light lager.
I'm looking at it right now. It was the Sea Quench Ale.
Yeah.
That was a session sour. It's right here.
Oh, he looked up the actual beer.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm looking at the actual beer.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, like I said, so I'm just looking through this. I'm not seeing, I haven't found another sea salt one yet, and I'm getting pretty close to the end.
that it tastes like something we've had before, or at least
Oh
I've
no,
had
it
before.
we've definitely had something with sea salt, but I'm just not finding it in the list, and which is weird because I would have put the salt part of
Yeah.
it in there.
Maybe it just tastes like a Bud Light lime.
see, I would. It does have the Bud Light lime flavor, but it actually enunciates the lager and the
Yeah.
lime in it.
Here,
It doesn't
flick-
taste
flick-
like.
Yeah, no,
Flip through
no,
the list and
well,
see if I just
It
missed
tastes.
it.
It
because-
tastes like a full-bodied lime beer, not like a light. But it's got the definitive lager taste and a little bit of salt, but the lime.
Yeah, it's not like a sour or a fruited beer.
And it tastes like a fresh, like a Florida, like a lime we would get here. Not like
Yeah.
Like
it
a
doesn't
key, it almost has a key lime flavor.
Yeah, it
to
doesn't taste like, you can tell when something tastes like synthetic lime element A, It
Yeah.
just doesn't taste like that.
No, I don't know. Oh, so I just saw the Dogfish Head to 120 minute that we did. That was aged 2 years. Last Sunday I had one that was from 2017.
What was
Jeez.
that like?
It was like drinking a brandy. There was no IPA, anything of it. It was not overly,
What was the alcohol content at that point?
probably about 35 to 40.
Damn.
Me and
Turn out a
Ryan,
little bottle of liquor
me
with it.
and Ryan split one and put it in the siftener, and it took me about an hour to drink 6 ounces of it. And yeah, it was kind of like what I would think of like a brandy or a cognac type deal.
Or like a higher octane boat drink.
Yeah, it was great flavor.
Boat drinks. Things to do in Denver when you're dead.
Yep, great movie.
This would be a good boat
Great
drink.
movie. But
So,
no, it was something special.
We got anything going on in the chat?
Not yet.
No,
Nah.
no one's watching.
It's okay.
Car spotting. Sunday,
spotting.
I saw a Lucid Air.
Really?
Yeah, in Spring Hill. White. Smaller lengthwise than I thought. More of the size of like a Taurus Interceptor and that. Widthwise, Charger,
Yeah.
Challenger is like that wide. Really nice looking. I actually really liked it.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
I haven't spotted anything too interesting recently. Although I did see that 70s Ford pickup that was turbo diesel swap. I don't know what it was, but like I said, I was on 491 and he pulled out of Pine Ridge Boulevard and I heard it. I was like, what? And I got it behind it. Then when he went on it, I could smell it, and I could still, even behind it, I could hear the turbo spooling a little bit.
Yeah.
Some older dude driving it, and he wasn't like hot rodding or anything like that.
Might have been 4BT swapped.
Might have
it was
been.
a 150, right?
Yeah,
Might have been 4BT.
it might have been.
That would be cool.
But I mean, it wasn't like, it wasn't rolling coal or anything like that. It was burning clean, and I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. But you could definitely hear turbo spooling, so I'm pretty sure it didn't have cats and def and all that shit on it.
Yeah.
I don't know what type of Jeep it was that I saw, because I'm not
What's the
familiar.
first thing you get rid of if you want a diesel to last forever? Get rid of the deaf and the cats and all the restrictions, and you just run it straight out and let it do what it wants to do.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I saw
In Mexico.
yesterday.
Well,
Hey.
in Florida and any other state that doesn't have emissions.
No, in Mexico.
A Jeepster Commando,
Yeah.
a green one.
Yeah. I think I've seen that one.
Well,
There's also a yellow one. I think there's a red one that I've seen running around.
well, see, when I saw him yesterday, he pulled up next to me in the turn lane. I looked over at this thing, and I mean, this thing looks like it was just pulled out of a field. And I was like looking at it, and I gave him a thumbs up, and he goes, "Oh, thanks, man." He goes, "I'm finally back." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I just finished driving this thing 600 miles from South Carolina, dug it out of a dude's barn, threw gas in it, battery. It's running." And I'm like,
He
"No
roadkilled
way,
it.
man." I'm like,
He
I
roadkilled
said,
it.
"That's awesome."
He
And
did a
goes,
roadkill trip.
"I can't believe this thing runs so good." He goes, "I got this thing for $800.
Oh, he
The
stole
light
it.
went green. I'm like, "Dude, I'm happy for you. Have fun with it." He goes, "I can't wait." And then buzzed off in it. But like, you know, when I looked over at it, I'm like, wait, is this Vice Grip Garage driving home a barn? Like, it was covered in dust, and you could tell the tires
we
had
probably
flat
should have.
spots.
We probably should have flown up to Michigan and bought that Taurus
We should have. We should have.
because that thing was ridiculously nice.
Yeah, and that was the jelly bean one too.
Yeah.
That blue one that I
Yeah,
shared.
the blue jelly bean car.
And what was it, like $1,500?
It was
like that?
cheap. It was low
No
miles.
rust, anything
No
like
rust,
that.
super clean, like immaculate condition jelly bean Taurus that he found on Marketplace or somewhere.
Well, yeah, no, we did it on the episode. It was our like $1,500
Yeah.
find the best car type deal, and yeah, it
I
was.
saw one that lasted 5 minutes on Marketplace the other day. I saw it within 5 minutes of it getting posted, and it got sold. This guy in Homosassa, I don't know the year, don't quote me, early 70s Bronco.
Okay.
Old school garage says the.
Hey, Mike.
Hey.
Cheers.
Early 70s Bronco,
He missed last
Um,
episode because he forgot what week it was.
V8, manual, 4-wheel drive, all original.
Big body or small body?
Big body.
Big body.
Fantastic condition. Had the V8 in it, whatever the V8 was.
You had a couple different options.
80,000 miles on the odometer.
Probably rolled over.
Running, driving, AC works, everything. The guy wanted $2,000 for it. 5 minutes, it was gone.
Oh, I'm sure.
Shit.
And he even had pictures underneath. No rust, no nothing. Somebody stole that.
You talking about a full size Bronco or
Yeah,
an
full
original?
size? No,
Okay.
full size.
Yeah.
Like the early 70s ones.
Oh yeah.
Somebody stole that. They're gonna get that. They're gonna throw a paint job on it, freshen the interior, and throw it on Bring a Trailer for $60,000.
Yeah.
I was like, I saw that and I was like, no fucking way. And then as I was looking at it, I'm scrolling through and it's like sold, and I was like, that was quick. I knew that
Yep.
was gonna happen.
Well, that's like the CRX that you guys found
Yeah.
That-
The one that was
that you were going to buy for
100
me.
Yeah.
$100.
$100
I sent it to Dan, and me and Dan are going back and forth
said
in text
no way to go
messages.
get
Like,
it.
I'm like, I got $50 in my pocket right now. He's like, I do too. And I'm like, dude, okay, I get off at this time. He's like, he's
You
messaging back
remember
and
that?
forth.
We're
It was
gonna go
when
buy
no,
the
it was when
CRX.
he was still up in
Georgia.
Savannah.
Yeah.
Annette, there was
So obviously my wreck was in a blue silver 86 Honda CRX.
we found
They
one
found
in
one.
These
Denellen.
fuckers found one in Denellen for $100,
Rusted to fuck, no brakes, but it ran.
and these fuckers were actually going to go buy it for me.
Yeah. Dan sent it to me, and within 5 minutes, me and Dan are going back and forth, making a full plan.
We were.
I had $50 in my pocket. He had $50. We're seeing if we could take an early lunch, trying to go up to Denellen to buy it.
Yeah.
And by the time, what was it? By the time you were able to contact him, and that apparently he had what, like 50 people
Yeah, he's like,
contact him?
because he didn't respond for a while afterwards, and I was like, oh my god, no. And then he said, I'm sorry, I didn't expect as many people to,
Yeah.
message me as they are. And he's like, I got like 50 people asking me about it. And then we couldn't solidify
Yeah,
a way
no,
to
well,
get it.
well, because I think it came up to someone ended up being like, yeah, you're selling it for $100. Here's like
Oh, yeah,
1,000.
I think the dude gave him like
and that
something
like
that.
here's that like
Because
and
it
so
had
he,
low miles, it was rusted, and the brake he said the brake lines needed to be replaced. Where's my damn thing?
but I think it was one of those that
Was
like
that car an auto?
no, it was a
No,
manual.
the manual.
But I think it was his
It was
mom was there, like so it was his mom was the original owner, so it's been in the original family the entire time
Yeah.
and all that. So, but yeah,
Yeah, so
we
these
were
two-
gonna
these
buy
two-
it
These two assholes were
and
gonna buy
just
the
go
car that
put it in
tried to kill
Brian's
me.
yard and be like, here you go.
We got you again.
So, if we want to use that as a segue, do we want to move into our topic? Because that actually brings me onto our topic.
Oh, the good.
Well, if
the
you want to
bad
lead
cars
us in,
gone
by
good.
all means, my good
Right.
sir.
Go for it.
Bad cars gone good.
So
So we remember last episode.
last episode was good cars gone bad.
And you seem to have gotten confused about one of those cars.
No,
Nope, I stand by everything I said.
No, that fits the end
still
of the
salty
trilogy,
about that.
episode 3.
So
I still don't remember it.
I feel the CRX is a great example of a bad car gone good.
Going from first gen to second gen.
No. The original Civic, which was... I'm not saying the original Civic was bad, but the perception of it was bad.
CVCC?
It was the CVVC Civics. Well, this is just a little crappy economy car throwaway. Nobody's going to want that. This is how the Americans perceive them.
Well, yeah, because that was when they
Yeah,
were
but-
poking right into America.
Yeah,
at that
but
time.
perception versus reality. So
Correct.
But the first gen Civics, they were not a bad car.
But
They
then
weren't
they
bad. The
became
only
truly great in the generation of the CRX.
The only thing that sucked about that first generation, and the first generation of any Japanese cars that finally
I'll
came
agree
over
with
here
you on
and that
actually.
was the
Rust.
thin sheet metal and the rust.
Right.
Like, and that was the
But when you go
only
from that
thing.
first generation into that second generation, the advancement was so much.
well,
You
how
know,
you got
we
the
went
CRX,
from
what is it,
the original Civics were like
HF?
okay.
HF and the HFs, those were like the absolute fuel sipping little crazy cars.
You had like what was
Well,
it
'cause
like
they
a
had the
5.4,
stratification chamber
5.5, something like that. But you would have like rated for 60 miles to the gallon, and it would get 60 miles to the gallon.
But they only made 60 horsepower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the problem. That's what was bad about them is for American roads, the original Civic was not even adequate.
They were great for busy cities.
Yes. But if,
If you
needed
go
to drive on a
out
highway,
past a big city and you go to even out like the close suburbs to a city, or even start moving out to where you gotta do more than 20-minute drives on like higher end roads where you're not stop and go, that's when
But
like you
Honda
said-
had the answer to that too.
Speaking of Hondas,
It was called the Accord.
we just drove by.
True.
And I had one.
but when you go from that first generation to that second generation, when you had the second gen Civic, the CRX,
You had
You
the
know,
CRX, you had the SI.
and then you had the SI, those
No,
went
no,
from
it's called
being
something different.
The SIs were the second gen.
Yeah.
When they came
But
out
those
with the
cars
SIs.
went from being to whole.
Yeah.
That's a bad car gone good to me.
You know, as an aspiring teenager, I really wanted a CRX. I'm not gonna lie. I did. I had a really bad itch for them, and I never got one.
I
But
still do have an
Oh, absolutely. That's the epitome of a lightweight car.
So basically, the crappy.
Brian still itches from his.
Yes.
So basically, the crappy used cars that I had as a kid are the stuff that you guys still dream about.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
FBs, S30s, CRXs,
yeah.
200
Because
SXs,
at that
yeah.
point they were crappy cars, like
Hiluxes.
second-hand cars for you.
RA22
Now
Celicas.
it's one of those you can't find one.
Oh, I know.
that isn't
Oh, I know, but
dead.
but specifically the RA22 Celica, man, the last ones that I saw were nice examples that sold for stupid money on Bring a Trailer. But like, I just going out and trying to find like marketplace ads or Craigslist ads or finding Auto Trader ads for those cars, you just don't find them.
Oh, Car Spot. Just reminded me. Sorry, Corolla. Old man driving it. Not really beat, but he definitely owned it since brand new. Manual SR5.
Early
White.
early 90s Camry, white, U.S. spec, but an actual made in Japan Camry. Still rolling around. I've seen the thing like 3 or 4 times, and it's also ended up in Brian's shop.
So, what other?
Because as soon as it rolled into the shop, I got a picture of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I saw that car last night.
So let me guess, we only have Mike watching.
Of
Hi,
course.
Mike.
Oh, what?
Bad
Yep.
cars gone good.
Mike says the Datsun B210.
Ugly little thing.
Yeah,
I would say that's a bad car gone good in the aspects of the. I don't know what you would call it. How bad people want them.
yeah.
They're a very popular, sought-after collector car now.
They're very sought after to
Well,
do
it's
rotary
because
swaps on.
it's rear-wheel drive car, but also too it's because the other collectible 80s 90s nuggets have all gotten too expensive.
True.
You know, I mean, that's just like, Supras. At some point, Mark 1s and Mark 2s are going to start jumping because the Mark 4s have gotten so expensive. The Mark 7, the Mark 3s.
They already have.
The Mark 3s are going to go nuts.
For a while, their Supras were like, $1,500.
Yeah.
And now, a Mark II Supra is
The Celica
15,
Supras,
20
yeah.
grand.
Mark II Supra is the best looking Supra. Fight me.
See, I really like the 3s. I love the 2s too, but if I was gonna get a 2 or a 3, I'd get a 3.
I'd go
Yeah,
for
the 3s are getting ridiculous too.
Yeah, the two, yeah.
Yeah.
Mark II is my...
I think Mark II. Mark II was.
Well, at that point, it wasn't a Supra on a standpoint. It was a Celica Supra. It was the different
I
level
know,
of
but
a
it,
Celica.
but like I
Just
said,
the aesthetic of
Oh yeah,
Like
no.
I said,
they-
but that
remember
was the
the one
thing.
that was rusted to fuck?
yeah.
That drove up and down a pop, literally the entire back, the quarters, everything. It was, I don't know how this thing didn't rattle itself apart going down a Popka, but it ran fucking perfect. But it was,
And at the same time that was rolling around, there was a white one and a silver one rolling around that were frickin' mint.
I've seen both the white one and the silver one.
Yeah, those two cars were absolutely mint. The other cars, just like the Mark I Supra, the Mark II Supra, they took a Celica and they lengthened the nose for the straight six, and that's because you look at that third generation Celica, and you're like, it's cool looking, but then you see the Supra with the extra length in the nose, you're like,
that's what it needed.
that's
Yep.
what that shape needed.
Bad cars going good. I mean, there's something that from a consumer standpoint could be as a whole, but as a inside employee standpoint, not so, and that would be Hyundai Kia. Because of their vast improvement, but like I said,
I would do
it's from a consumer standpoint. From a standpoint like Chris and I have, it's no.
May I enter in an objection to that?
See,
Of
I
course, my friend.
was gonna.
Here's the problem. Yes, the quality has gone up, and the aesthetics, and they're a competing car brand now, not just this is the absolute cheapest option.
Throw it away and.
But along with that improvement has come increase in price.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
But that's also
they're way better than they used to be. They're also way more expensive than they used to be.
Because
That's every
I was
car,
gonna,
though.
I was
But
gonna
not-
say,
But it's scaled for them in the sense of like Ford is on one angle and they're on a much steeper angle
Yeah.
in the increase in price because
Right.
they're old cars. We used to be able to buy their car for $4,000,
new.
brand new.
yeah.
And that same class of car in a competing any other car maker was $15,000 at the time, and now they're $25,000 and they're competing. Their prices are competitive, but right there at the same price points.
Yeah.
They used to be a market leader in bargain.
Yeah, because I was always going to say, like the Elantra. You look at the early 90s Elantra, and you're like, it'll get me into point A, hopefully point B, brand new. And now
And
it's...
maybe make it like 40,000
Yeah, but
miles.
did you ever drive a Hyundai Excel?
No.
Wow.
No.
Did anybody
Absolute-
ever actually drive those, or did they all break down on the lot?
I did not own one, but I have in fact driven one, and it was an automatic no less back in my days with two legs. Which since we're not
So it was a
since we're not on
three-speed.
TikTok, the number of my legs will not get us banned. I hope.
So it was a 3-speed
It was
automatic.
a 3-speed automatic.
But
And
Yeah,
like I said, you
but-
talk about an
a
absolute
CVT would be more exciting to drive than
Yeah.
that.
No, it wouldn't. You talk about feeling like you were in an absolute penalty box.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was. What have I done? Why have
Boy,
why
hold
have
on.
I, why
I
have
think
I
it's the
been
first time I've ever heard a car referred to as a penalty box.
I have experienced
Why?
this before.
what have I done to
Can
be
I take the
smited?
bus?
Why
That's
has
what-
these smited me and left me in this?
Just let me take the
Like
bus.
a car that inspired an entire generation to walk.
Yeah, it's like
I've experienced this before as well.
yeah.
I remember the first time I saw a Hyundai Scoop. It was in the junkyard.
So my
I remember those actually rolling on the road, and it was like, okay, funny, but it's still a shitbox.
My experience with this, a 2008 Kia Rio. base model.
Oh, was that the
That-
one?
that's
is
the
that
one you had?
Was that the one you had to drive to a
to
training
Atlanta.
Oh.
Just everything in that car is acceptable.
Well, it's like
That'll
that
do.
kid we went to high
That'll
school
do.
with.
That'll do.
Josh, he had
Oh.
a Rio Cinco.
Oh,
manual,
yes.
A blue one.
Yes.
03, the Rio Cinco, the Cinco wagon.
Yep.
And he put that car through absolute, complete, and total hell. The worst things you think you could do to a car, he did to that car, and it kept going.
It was one of those to where that car, like, you would put my first 86 next to it, and you would think my first 86.
That was my phone, sorry.
You would think my first
I thought someone
86
was
was
playing cop
like
impersonator
the
going down
greatest
the road,
thing
'cause it went
ever, and it wasn't. It had no choke. It had a single barrel carburetor on it with no choke. Could barely stay running when it was cold. 3-speed automatic with 60 horsepower. Yeah, no, that car was horrible.
Those cars were
Horrible.
genuinely just that bad. They were like, I'd rather walk.
Well, no, that was the thing is, like, when he was old enough to drive, his parents were like, just take this thing.
Yes.
Beat the crap out of it. It's not worth anything anyway.
Get it out of your system.
Right.
And-
Whatever you put in the gas tank is what that car's worth at the time.
Yeah.
If you put $20 in the gas tank, then congratulations, it's worth $21.
See, another one that I would say is going from the first gen Ford Escort US to the second gen.
And
Later on,
and also with the Escort GT.
The
Yeah.
Mazda days.
well, but it's one of those like with the first gens when they
You can
got
thank
their
my people for that.
they got their GT, which was basically like interior wise, you literally got the same sport seats that I have in my 86
Which I
with
do
the
love.
halos. You had
The door mirrors ended up on Celine Mustangs and
Mustangs.
then 89 and up convertible Mustangs.
Yeah.
But the platform they gave you was not GT
yeah,
worthy.
but they
It
did
wasn't.
have Marshalls on them too.
They did.
they
but-
had the looks, but
Yeah. But then you get to the second
it-
gen,
but it
and
wasn't-
goddamn,
but it wasn't
those second gens are so fucking good.
well, that was the thing. Is in the-
also,
in the second-
teal.
in the
Teal.
second gen Escorts, you got the what was the 1.9, right? I think it was the 1.9 single overhead cam
Yep.
4-cylinder.
Or you got the
or you got
1.6.
the BP. No, you got well when the GT you got the BP,
Yeah.
and the BP was a substantial horsepower.
Was that a
gain.
1.8 in the BP?
Yeah, the BP was a 1.8. It was a 1.8, and
It
you
was
got a
one-
substantial horsepower
123 horsepower because it was 123.
gain. Yeah,
It was
and,
123,
and then it swung way higher RPM.
almost
And
9
there's
grand.
aftermarket support, and even to this day, there are people with BP Escort GTs at the drag strip running 10s and stuff in them. There's multiple. That dude in blue.
Yeah.
But I know the guy. That guy Antonio Stovall is his name.
Mm-hmm.
He's Stovall's Garage on YouTube. You can follow him. He just finished doing the turbo upgrade for that. That's going to be north of 700 when he's
Yep.
done. And then I got other friends who have, they still go run them. The BP's a fantastic engine. It's still going nowadays.
Yeah, no,
And-
I think that second gen
And
was
I think it looked better too.
It did. It looked better.
I love the slide
but-
grill.
But
love
I
that.
mean, just the
That was definitely a 90s touch.
but then also, like I said, you had that blue and then that
The
teal,
teal.
and just the way the turbine wheels, like the way they were fit, like they were.
And that also, I mean,
so
on that
good.
in that same vein, you could also say the Probe
yeah.
from first gen to second gen.
Oh, that second.
I've got another good Ford
Because
example.
I mean, like the second gen, and even like the base 4-cylinder cars, those little things actually drove and handled pretty damn nice.
Yeah. And then you get to GTs where you had what was the motor in it?
V-
The KLDE, 180 horsepower, and
2.5, right, or 2.6?
2.5. And all you had to do was give it a little squirt of nitrous or slap a turbo on it, and you're easy 350 to the wheels. And the motor would take 8 pounds of boost is all you need to do to get
and
over
with
300
slightly
wheels. on that
revised
thing.
suspension and much better wheels and tires on it. Those
Yep.
cars actually, I thought those cars actually looked,
Oh, they did look
Really
great.
I did
good.
too.
Yeah.
And when you could,
especially in that blue-green
Oh
tealish
God,
color.
And
that
when
was
you
just
couldn't
perfect
find-
with it, with the confetti interior. Like
yes.
and when you couldn't find parts for them, a bunch of guys roped together and they made the legendary probe for them.
Yep.
Probe Talk. I swear and lived by Probe Talk for the longest time
Well, because you had your
that's when all
MX-6.
Well, and that's when all the guys found out, hey, Mazda's got this car too, and apparently, we can get coilovers for an MX-6, and they look like they bolt on the probe, but you can't buy coilovers for a probe. And that's whenever the whole thing started, and even to this
Literally
day,
the same
And also
car.
too, but like same token, that generation MX6 also just looked fucking
amazing.
great.
I loved my MX6 is probably one of my most favorite cars I've ever had, because how amazing it looked. It was great to drive. It sounded amazing, and it's that era of car is untouchable.
Yeah,
in my
those were
opinion.
great cars.
Yeah.
I love that.
But I've got another Ford example. Bad car gone good. The Ford Focus.
Yeah.
True that.
The first gen
That's excellent.
Focuses were trash.
Unless you got the SVT.
And we
Where
never
you got
got
the
we never
2-liter.
really got the second generation Focus.
Right.
Yeah.
But the first gen Focus, that was a terrible car.
Unless
Like,
you got the SVT, where you at least got the good motor.
But see,
you at least got the
is,
good motor in the SVT.
It seems like
but
nobody knew they existed, though. Everybody was just had regular Focuses and
Right.
didn't have an aspiration. They didn't look at the Focus and think, "Oh, I want a performance version of that." They looked at the Focus and were like, "Damn, I don't want a Saturn and not a Rio. I can afford this."
Yeah.
Right,
And-
pretty much.
And every Focus I saw from like the first generation was just, it was either plain or it was ragged out and beat to hell right off the lot, like 30,000 miles in, and this thing's got dents all
Yep.
over it. They were beat to hell. And then when you get to the
Third gen.
third gen,
Yeah, well, we got
had
the
the
second
Focus
gen that
ST.
was a little bit, which we did have.
My
We
dad
did
had one
have
of
the.
those
We
ones.
did
Well,
have
weird
the
second
S.
gen.
We did have an ST in that weird second gen.
yes,
Which did have the. It wasn't like the European ST, but it did
Well,
have the better motor and it
we
had extra
actually-
stuff.
This is my weird nerd brain going off here. We actually did get the second gen Focus RS here in the U.S. It was called a Volvo C30 T5.
Oh yeah,
Hey, I
true. Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
You're correct, and I love those
5-cylinder
cars.
turbo, manual transmission, front wheel
Yeah.
drive. That was the European second gen
Yeah.
Focus RS.
yep.
And I'm not gonna
And
lie,
we did get the
I actually-
Mondeos too, which the Mondeos were the
Contour, Contour
Contours.
Mystique.
And then we did get the Mondeo ST200, which was the SVT Contour.
The Contour SVT.
But the Focus, especially, I
Yeah.
mean, the glow up from the first gen Focus
To the
to
third.
the third gen with the ST and the RS. Oh my
Which
god!
at first we still didn't get the ST, but just even that the base models were so much better.
yes,
Yeah.
Base models were so much better.
Except for the
except that
except-
goddamn fucking transmission.
DPS 6.
That fucking power shift
If
automatic.
the
which
transmission is-
there still is.
The transmission itself isn't the problem. It's the fact that they went with a dry clutch instead of
Yep.
a wet clutch. That's where Ford fucked up.
Yep.
They should have either done a wet clutch or just put an automatic in it.
Yep. Yeah.
Because they're herky-jerky. I know that Australia, there was a big class action lawsuit against Ford in Australia for those transmissions.
Right now, Nick Nix has a Fiesta that has that power shift transmission. I'm like,
Well,
Oh.
Sandra has Angel's Focus, and that's what she's driving now that she's turned 18. And she said the same thing. She's like, sometimes you roll in against the road, and we're just like, just roll into it harder. It'll be fine.
yep.
That's
Yeah,
basically it.
it's,
Just
uh,
drive it harder, and it's
yeah.
okay.
and everybody's like, oh, you have a Focus. Do you have the transmission problem? I'm like, no, I have a 6-speed. But I'm like, no, I have actual 6-speed, not.
But that's what I'm
that.
saying. If you told me at the age whenever the first gens came out that the glory of your car would exist one day, I wouldn't believe you.
I wouldn't
Exactly.
either.
Well, on our shores.
Yeah.
On our shores. Because,
Well, at that
like,
time, I didn't know that
Oh.
there was a European version of that.
Well,
car
no,
that
even
was
at
way
that
better.
point, I knew that there was the Europeans, and I'm like, God damn,
Yeah,
motherfuckers!
what was it, the ST-103 or something
Oh,
like
God,
that?
yes.
That was basically the basis. It's what Ford Europe used as the basis for the rally car.
Yes.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
that was with the Escort.
No, I'm talking about the Focus.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Focus
yeah,
rally car.
because that's what,
Because that's what got the U.S. spec
Sarah-
bumpers and the surge tank on it.
yeah.
Sarah Intuned is building. She's
Yep.
taking a U.S. spec Focus SVT and she's turning it into
Yeah, because I had that motor.
yeah.
That had
'cause
that motor in
engine,
it.
but she's done like the taillight swap and
Yeah.
she's doing all the body panels
Which
and everything
it's-
else.
Another
still-
fantastic YouTube channel.
It's still one of those that,
I like her humor and
yes.
the editing.
Yes.
those motors are wonderful motors, but it's the same thing that's happening with the SVT Contours and all that. You can't. There's no parts for them.
Yeah.
Just like the Taurus SHOs.
yeah.
Just like what
Well,
happened
yeah,
to
with,
the SHOs.
with the second gen SHOs, well, third gen SHOs,
Yeah.
the ones that had the V8 instead of V6,
yeah, the Yamaha engine.
you can't get parts for them
Howard.
at all.
He
Well, they were both Yamaha
Howard,
engines.
Howard
Well, yeah,
was,
but
he
the
was
V8
the parts
versus
manager
the
at Ford,
V6.
two different Ford dealerships. Even he couldn't get parts for those cars.
Well, do you know
And
why?
Because he had one, that's why he sold it.
Well, do
Yeah.
you want to know why that is? There's a specific reason why you can't get parts for the Yamaha-powered Ford Taurus.
Well, the V8 ones or the V6
Either
ones?
of them. Ford did not pay Yamaha the money they owed them for developing that V8. So Yamaha decided,
making parts.
okay, you won't pay us, we're not giving you parts. That's literally what happened. Ford decided not to pay their bills.
But it's
And-
also, I mean, the same thing. Not that, but I'm like the Lincoln Mark 8s.
Yeah,
Good luck finding parts for those things now.
right.
I know. I had one. That's why I let mine go, because I was already
And
seeing.
you're telling me to fucking buy one.
I'm telling you to buy one to pull the engine out of.
fucking buy one.
I'm telling you to
Are you
pull.
getting the
I'm
bigger?
telling you,
Yeah.
rather than spending $4,000 on a Cobra engine, I'm telling you to spend $1,000 on a fucked up Mark 8 so that you can get a Texas block aluminum 4-cam, less than $1,000. And if you're not putting boost on it, forged internals versus cast internals means fuck all.
He ain't wrong.
Yeah, but I still think after our investigation it might be okay.
Or we just rebuild that engine.
Even if we just did a Dingleberry Hone rebuild on it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
basically.
pull it down to the block, send it to the machine shop, get it decked, get the heads decked, clean up the heads real good, put it back together.
Just ARP studs instead of torque to yield bolts.
Exactly. Do ARP studs throughout.
Might
You
as well,
buy the
yeah.
ARP stud kit for the whole motor and just be done with it. Probably a couple $100 on that.
Really, all you need is the heads. Really, all you need is just for the heads.
Yeah.
Everything else is fine.
I enjoyed doing stud builds. It's easier
But if you do
assembling everything.
if you do studs throughout, that motor's good for what, 1,500 horsepower?
I was gonna say that thing, the way it sits, is good for 1,000.
Right. You do all the studs,
Yeah,
you're good
that
for
block-
1,500, no problem.
Yeah, that block with the forged internals as it sits is good for 1,000.
Yeah.
A bit less for the
All
cast.
right, here comes the weird beer.
No. It's amazing, is what it's going to be.
I do have one question.
There's nothing on it we couldn't figure out.
No, my question is this: a lot of these have like artificial
We
sweeteners in
couldn't
them.
figure out.
Malt beverage with natural flavors contains alcohol.
You have to go to the website that neither me or Brian wanted to go to, which is ArizonaHard.com. Neither me or Brian wanted
Well,
to
it
click on-
doesn't say artificial sweeteners anywhere, so we should be all right.
Yeah, and
I'm sure you'll be able to taste it just by a sip.
Oh,
And
you
they don't- and they
you
don't
you
use-
will. You'll
And they don't
be
use
able to.
artificial sweeteners in their regular stuff, so it's weird.
Well,
though.
it's
Yeah,
only
but
an
like the
Arizona
Mountain
can
Dew,
that's not
the
big.
Oh
hard
yeah, the Mountain Dew
Dew.
ones
it
have,
does.
and that's why, because they're zero sugar. This doesn't say zero sugar though.
Exactly.
It's not a
Because
big
that
can.
that's
Use the
also
big
why
can.
why we really like the Simply ones, because they're made with actual sugar.
I'm not seeing
And
any
it looks
carbonation
like
there.
Arizona green tea.
It does. It looks like an Arizona green
So
tea.
I have to say, I went back and forth.
Well,
and I
Mike, you
talked-
might actually be able to pour this one without overflowing the head.
I talked with the lady at ABC, who's my friend, and she said the Arizona ones and then the Lipton tea ones are amazing.
It smells
Don't-
like tea.
Don't get the Buzzy Boy.
It does smell
Iced
like
tea.
green tea.
This is in juxtaposition. It's green tea. I'm gonna be way more alert.
Oh, that's green tea.
Freaking tastes like
Oh.
green tea.
Oh my god, that's
Yep.
dangerous.
I need these in my life.
It doesn't even taste like
No.
alcohol.
Oh my god,
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it.
I love it.
I kind of like it. It's different. I taste the ginseng and honey too.
It needs ice cubes.
It does.
It needs ice cubes.
I mean, but the thing is this is literally
Okay, I
what.
just caught a hint of the malted beverage flavor though.
but not
I did
bad.
just catch the malted
Yeah,
beverage
it'll sit
flavor.
there on the back.
That's on the
after a little
exhale,
bit.
but the malt and the tea is fine though together.
It's like a twisted tea,
I don't know.
except this is better than a twisted tea.
I kind of like it.
You kind of like it. I love this. Oh my god, his is gone.
It's fucking yummy, man.
Yo.
I mean, it's pretty tasty.
Where'd you find these?
ABC.
All right, I'm gonna get some. Arizona. I drink one of these almost every day.
They also have a 12-pack that's their regular tea too, where it has 3 of these, 3 of lemon, 3 of peach.
Arizona, thank you. You've made me happy.
Dude, this is seriously like.
I am confused.
It tastes exactly like their regular green tea.
I am.
Yo, if they did the regular, like their Southern brewed iced tea. Oh, if they did Arnold
Arnold Palmer one of these would be good.
Well, the Lipton
Shit.
one
Even
has
their mango one, their fruit punch one.
Well, the Lipton one.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get the Lipton one because it has a strawberry iced tea, peach iced tea, half and half, and then something else.
Okay, because they seem to be wanting to take every single drink that was from my childhood and turn them into alcohol.
There's a Sunny D one too that has vodka.
I know,
in
that's
it.
what I'm talking about.
Did you just say Sunny D?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
Sunny D.
Sunny D and vodka one that is apparently amazing.
I'm gonna call it now. I guess what I really want to see in one of these drinks is the Chick-fil-A Sunjoy. Arnold Palmer.
I thought he was about to say Chick-fil-A sauce hard.
You know the one.
the
You know the one that
Chick-fil-A
scares
Sunjoy.
me. You know the one that scares me. Hard Monster.
No.
We already did that. It
I know.
was called
Four Loko.
Four Loko.
The original Four Loko.
Yeah, they have
And-
Hard Monster, so Kyle can go extra.
Like,
Oh no, it was one of those.
The
You had
original
all
Four
the
Loko was
all the
like,
caffeine with 12%
Yeah,
alcohol
like-
to where you
it-
get so hypered up you black out and
And
shit
it was
yourself.
Yes.
you know those like kind of shitty cardboard display things they have. It was in one of those that when Dixie and it said "Unleash the Beast" on the side. I'm like,
all right, Kyle.
no, I know. Gonna drink one of these and punch a hole in the drywall and they get arrested
you
on a
drink
domestic
one of
assault
those
charge.
and you drive that Mazda 626. I know you forgot about it. That's why I had to bring that back up.
I like
Remember
the
that?
626.
Remember that Mazda 626?
Oh,
the
that
monster
Mazda-
one that used to drive around Chris River and all
No,
that.
and then the video on YouTube about it, it's basically the same motor as a 4G63, so I'm gonna all-wheel drive swap it, and it's gonna have turbo, and it's gonna be
Where they
fast.
chopped the roof, literally
remember
had
that
the
car?
giant monster emblem in the grill. Remember that monstrosity?
I don't know if I actually saw that one, or it may have scarred me so bad that my mind is blocking it.
I'm feeling like I'm having the same reaction. I saw this and I
Once
was
you
so
see it, 'cause
horrified.
I
Your
remember-
brain
I
is
remember
just
when the
absolutely
person was
blocking that
building
out
it.
to protect the rest of your psyche from the trauma that
Was this
That
was this the thing where it was?
that?
It's a Mazda
Oh, yeah.
66
Now go
under
to the
there.
other picture. That.
That's a shitty,
Oh,
shitty
yeah.
pixels,
I did not see that one.
I
before.
remember that thing.
It was going around in Homosassa and Chris River and then Beverly Hills.
So
and
what
then-
happened is,
I did
all right,
not
so
see that car.
Have you driven down? Have you had your versatile driving down Homosassa Trail like many times?
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed the house that has a bunch of statues outside and they have there's angels and mermaids and all that?
That's
Yeah.
half of the shit down Homosassa Trail.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's one house in particular though. That's the
That
guy
has
who
the other half of the shit down Homosassa Trail.
That's the guy who had this car originally. He's a
Yeah.
fiberglass statue maker nut, and he had this vision with
Oh
this
yeah, because
car.
he lived right next to me.
He had
he
this,
lived right next
this
to me.
vision to make this crazy chop top lowrider fiberglass Mazda 626. Then he passed away, and this meth head dude got a hold of it, and then he made it into
Because
what it was.
at that point, he lived off of Rock Crusher. It was the guy that lived right off of Rock
And
Crusher.
then the guy moved to Spring Hill with the car, which is where the video was made. Like the inside of the car had a chain steering wheel. The speakers or the dashboard
Literally,
speakers.
like the
The
12-inch.
instrument cluster was painted solid green. It had needles, but it was solid green.
Oh my god.
It had monster logos all on the inside, and
The door panels were just raw fiberglass. No, seriously. What am I joking?
I don't disbelieve you at all.
and he was talking about how the car it has and the dude's like a meth head who has it at the time, and this guy's doing like kind of a semi-serious but joking build thing with the guy. He's like, yeah, it has coilover racing suspension.
No, it doesn't. It was
This motor's practically the same thing as a 4G63, so we're going to put a 4G63 head on it and turbo all-wheel drive system from his GSX Eclipse, and this thing's going to be 1,000 horsepower, crazy build, and
There's a expensive camera. Don't do it, Dan.
I blame
Denied.
Chris. I blame Chris.
For what? You didn't even come close to his can.
I can
You
blame
banged the outside of the rim, and it's laying on the floor next to it. And poor Mike has to go pick that up along with the natural light can that he lost.
I'm gonna pick it up. Don't worry. But no, it kind of reminded me. So, I was looking up things like if I need to do anything special.
Were you
since
looking through the hole in your hand to
Well,
do that?
I looked up on the internet if I didn't need to do anything special because I drilled through and I couldn't feel things and shit. And the first article I found said, "So you drilled a hole in your hand, huh? We're gonna help you." I'm like, "Oh great!" I'm scrolling on my phone, and it said, "First step is to find a scapegoat, preferably somebody who's not in the room so you can blame them later on. Because you're not stupid enough to drill a hole in your own hand, are you?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Get to how I fix this." Like, it was so.
It's like helpful advice with trolling the shit out of you
if you
beforehand.
Google like I drilled a hole in my hand or something like that, it's one of the
No.
first articles that comes up.
You know what the great thing is? You have a son. Blame it on your son. That's
You
a
didn't
dad
hold-
job.
Damn it, you didn't hold the flashlight good enough.
Exactly.
I'm doing what I was doing too, and I'm like, this is not a good idea. And then, and I went, oh boy, oh, I did that.
I'm gonna say you have a son. His sole purpose in life is to
Just
be
to
yelled
hold
at.
the flashlight and be yelled at for the stupid
Yeah.
shit you do.
I got diabetes. Goddamn it, son.
Diabetes.
Bad cars gone good. With a side of spice.
With a side of spice.
All right, I found it. Would you like me to read it to the class?
Yeah,
go for it,
we
yeah.
might
It's
as well
actually quite
because
funny.
there's
It is
only-
hilarious. And
there's
then when
only
you find
two
out
people watching.
that the
It's
article,
on Grassroots Motorsports.
and it has no actual medical information, and I scrolled through the whole thing in pain, hoping for help.
All right. Congratulations. You've joined the elite club of people who have,
That's the
through
one.
their own carelessness or inattention, drilled through their own hand while working on their car. You know this because when you stopped drilling, the hand that was holding the drill dropped neatly to your side where you store it for future use, while the other hand, the hand you were using to support the back of the panel you were drilling through, mysteriously stayed in place. So did the drill itself, stuck as it was through the metal and the hand meat. Drilling through your own hand can be confusing and chaotic time. We've prepared this handy, get it, guide to assist you in the aftermath. Number 1. Confirm that you really drilled through your own hand. Upon drilling through your own hand, there will be several signs. The first will be the disbelief and denial. Surely that was someone else's hand, you will think, and possibly even say aloud. But it will soon become readily apparent that no one else is present. The humiliation is next, but it will only mask the physical pain for a few seconds, so savor it in its purest form while you can.
Did you? Did you?
I read through this and I was just being attacked so much.
All right,
Meat
step
hanging out of
2.
my hand and stuff, and
Step 2. Find a scapegoat. Next to my shop is a donkey. I mean, he lives there. He doesn't just stand there at random. It's technically the neighbor's donkey, but his pen, paddock, donkeytorium, whatever you call the area where the donkey lives, is right across from my shop. So when this particular human isn't around, he's usually at the fence begging for donkey treats and keeping a watchful eye on my progress. As he is the perfect foil, whenever a mistake is made at my shop, the resulting crash, bang, pop, fizzle, or scrape is usually followed by a "damn it, donkey," clearly indicating where fault actually lies. The overspray got on the windshield not because I am a sloppy masker, but because the donkey was silently judging me. Upon hearing my cries, the donkey usually responds with a noise that is half mocking laughter and half like derisive deflection. He is wise to my schemes by now, but quickly shifting the blame to him lessens the physical burden. Side note, for you city folk who have never heard a real donkey before, they sound exactly like your drunk friend doing an impression of a donkey. Number 3, now you must act. First, forget about finishing this project tonight. In fact, any upcoming plans not directly related to wound care or gauze replacement are pretty much out the window. No, it's time to summon for help. Most of us, in this will mean calling an ambulance. Hopefully your phone is actually on your person and not just slightly out of reach of your free hand. Drilling through your own hand somewhat limits your mobility. What with the drill tunneling through so much tissue and bone and pinning it to the back of the panel, you were supporting. But no, really, not using a 2x4 was a good idea. Saved a lot of time, didn't it? Anyways, it's about now you begin wishing there were 2 emergency numbers you could call. One for regular emergencies and one for really embarrassing ones.
Yes.
I'd be more than willing to spend a couple extra bucks toward my deductible if I knew I could expect a certain level of discretion from my rescue professionals. Let's face it, 911 dispatchers aren't stupid, and they've seen and heard it all. When they
Yes,
say,
they have.
911, what is your emergency? And you say, I can't really say, they can tell just from the timbre of your voice that your genitals are hopelessly trapped in a pool vacuum fitting while the rest of you is casually nursing a poolside drink like nothing has happened. I'd be willing to bet that after 10 years on the job, a good 911 operator can determine the exact object irretrievably inserted in a caller's butt based on the first 5 seconds of awkward stalling.
I have to give a side note here. I don't know who puts this out, but it pops up about once a year, usually towards the end of the year, and it's usually a list of the top 100 things that emergency personnel have removed from people's buttholes that year.
Yep.
And also, when I went,
I like it a lot.
when I went all the way in, I didn't do the thing you're actually supposed to and reverse the drill and come back out. I went, yeah!
Uh-huh.
And then there was a spaghetti noodle hanging out, and I had to pull the spaghetti noodle out that I made with the twirly, part of the drill doing its job.
So it was the Dan spaghetti that you had to take out.
Yes.
The forbidden noodle.
It wasn't mom's
The
spaghetti.
unwanted noodle.
Yes. And here, give me your hands. Give me your hands.
All right, so at the end,
Give me your hands.
you wanted
Both
to
of
drill one simple hole, but because you didn't take proper safety precautions, you ended up with a whole mess of sloppily chopped sheet metal to replace, which reminds me to plug next month's column.
Wow.
So you welded through your own fingertip.
You can't.
No.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't
Bitch.
hurt yourself.
Try it. I went right through your tendons right there. I went 3/8 drill bit all the way to the bone.
But can you...
I just not like here that it hurts doing it here. I couldn't at the beginning of the week. I can now, and I can make a fist, but it hurts whenever I move the whole thing. But it's healing quick though.
Got yourself a nice dumbass award.
Hell yeah!
Good
and,
hand gone bad.
And like I said, all I could do afterwards is even when the pain was setting in, I'm like, oh my god, I can't. I'm so stupid. I'm just laughing. I'm sitting there laughing, and Paige is
I
like,
keep
what?
getting
I'm like, I
enveloped
can't
in a
believe I
cloud
did
of
that.
Subaru, bro.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So also another
Flatten the bill.
see, I wouldn't really say it of a bad car gone good, okay car gone a little bit more okayer. The first gen Saturns to the second gens.
Yeah.
They developed a little bit more and all that. Still a car, but it's one of those, like, the technology that they had with their exterior cladding was wonderful. Wonderful. The fact of, like, hey, I can just pop. Oh, okay. My fender's great.
It still doesn't beat Robot Cantina's Diesel Swap Saturn. You all need to go watch that still. All of you do. Robot Cantina. You need to go watch the Diesel Swap Saturn.
I don't know. The diesel swapped Lambo is pretty sick.
It is.
That-
The Diesel Swap Saturn is a diesel out of an air compressor.
Oh yeah.
See,
Yes.
and then that's a bad car gone good.
Who was it? I forgot what car
Probably
it was.
gets better fuel
Somebody
economy, too.
somebody did
Better fuel
somebody,
economy, probably better power and torque.
Somebody did
Can
actually
roll core.
Drive it.
Somebody
Drive
did someone was doing an engine swap. They were using Harbor Freight Predator engines in one of their cars.
In a Honda Insight?
Maybe.
That's the same guy.
Okay.
That's him. That's the same guy. And
Although-
he also put a supercharger on one of those Harbor Freight Predator engines.
Nice.
Speaking of lawnmower engines, I forgot what the name of the channel was, and I saw it just kind of blip up once, and I watched kind of one video, but I didn't go back through and look. Some guy took Briggs and Stratton parts, built a V8.
Nice. Nice.
And he has it hanging on the front of a lawnmower.
Oh yes,
Way
yes, no, I saw
It's
that. Yep.
Way the hell
yep.
out.
That's awesome. Almost like the guy who did the free Val Miata. Was
Have you seen his other project?
with the IndyCar?
The
Well,
Porsche that he converted
Porsche,
into basically an
Formula
IndyCar?
60,
Yeah.
60s Formula One
Yeah,
car.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah, now that car's getting a V12 now.
You know what I also saw in the ways of engineering and engines and crazy was a guy who made a Lego RC car with a Lego powered engine that ran off air.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, the V8 one.
No, this one's
No?
it's an inline 6 and it's a semi and it has a 2-liter bottle you put on the trailer, you fill it up with air, and then you frickin' crank the thing off, and then you can use an RC controller to
Really?
do the transmission, and it has a transmission in it, and it drives around. It's all Legos, all air. It drives around for about 10 minents on its air tank.
Nice.
And it
So I was-
sounds like a little inline six running.
So this was somewhere in England, I believe, and I don't know if this was an engine this guy built and put in a motorcycle, or if
Or
it
was
was
cheese.
or an old aircraft engine. But like I'm talking like air cooled, exposed cylinders, exposed rockers, and push rods and whole 9 yards. It looked like an old Hispano Suiza aircraft engine, but small. It was a V8 motorcycle, and the thing was, the guy literally used a Briggs & Stratton engine as the starter for the V8 motorcycle. And it was just a thing on YouTube Shorts, and I was like, it just flipped by once, and I was like, it's interesting, but then I didn't pursue it any further.
It's like, I wonder how the Merlin Crown Vic is doing.
Well,
We
no.
haven't got an
What
update on
about
that in a
the
while.
what about the Merlin? What is it? The Beast or whatever?
The Beast, yeah.
Yeah,
it was on. There's another. That's
on the drive and all that
Well,
stuff.
and
But
I
he-
forgot to
the
tell
guy
you
in
guys-
England built it.
Yeah,
Beast of
and-
Turin.
No.
No,
No,
it's-
that
no,
was
it's
a
got a
1911
it's
Fiat
got a
race
Merlin.
car.
It's
got
got
a
a- it's
Merlin.
got a
27-liter four-cylinder.
Hold on.
No. It's got a 27 liter.
No, what he was.
Oh, yeah,
what
no.
he was talking about.
There it is. That one. That was built in the 70s.
That
yeah,
car
yeah,
recently
yeah,
went to auction. That car was recently
and
auctioned.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
but
Okay,
we,
about
but
that.
we were talking back and forth about it, and that thing it has a Merlin engine, and that out of a Bomber, I think.
I forgot.
Well, the Merlins were used in the Spitfires and the Mustangs.
Oh,
Well,
it was
and-
the Spitfire.
So that auction, I
because it
forgot
wasn't a
to tell you
Mustang
guys
one.
about that. I saw like this YouTube video, and it was some British guy talking about the auction. That website is cool. Have you seen that website before?
No.
It's
One.
the British version of Bring a Trailer. It's called carandclassic.com.
Oh,
it's
yes.
literally
Yep,
the
yep.
British version of Bring a Trailer. It's all in the UK and everything, but like the cars are absolutely bonkers that are on this website, carandclassic.com. And they have a YouTube channel too, and he was, reviewing the car. That car is crazy though, Chris. You have the whole startup process, and even
It's
with
like
an
starting a
exhaust,
plane.
Yeah.
with a full exhaust on it, the thing is so ungodly loud.
It gets half a mile to a gallon, and
I think it runs like an 11 in the quarter too, if I'm not
But
mistaken.
well, it's one of those that's got such tall gears. Like the guy made it so that way it would be the fastest car in England, and it will do 200 miles per hour. And he's had it up to the original guy had it up to many times 200 miles per hour. But it was one of those at that point he could only do like I think 12 miles
Right.
before it ran out of gas. So it was one of those they got it to the place they did it, but it was coasting past that.
It's like I wonder how the Merlin Crown Vic is
I was
going.
gonna say, you've ever been to like an air show where they had World War II airplanes? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you've heard of Merlin
Yes.
in a Mustang or in a Spitfire.
distinctive sound.
And Chris, you've seen the Merlin Crown Vic, right?
No.
Well, no,
these-
that one has a tank engine in it.
It's the Merlin tank engine.
Yeah, sounds
I
a
can't-
little bit different.
I don't know if they're Norwegian or Finnish, but it is a Merlin tank engine stuffed into a Crown Vic with twin 100mm turbos on it.
Shit, at that point, no, I think that one might be a V10, or is it a V12?
That's a V12.
It is a V12. But no, that Merlin engine. Oh, it
They're glorious.
literally sounds like it doesn't have the supercharger on it. They took the supercharger off,
Okay.
but it still makes 1,800 horsepower
Yeah.
and like 3,000 foot-pounds of torque
Speaking of World War
to this car.
So speaking of World War II engines, I remember reading an article years and years and years ago about a team that was restoring a Messerschmitt
You
ME-109.
sound like ice
Okay.
cream truck.
And those had, the Daimler-Benz
Yep.
fuel-injected big V12 on those airplanes. Well, this was not a Spanish-built ME-109. This was an actual German-built ME-109. So when they were tearing the engine down to overhaul that engine, they sent the crankshaft and a few other parts back to Mercedes to have everything
Because they
checked-
had the tooling.
to have everything checked out and make sure that everything was still inspected and everything was good. Mercedes sent the parts back and had a giant note and said, don't fuck this up, because even with our standards today, we cannot make you a crankshaft to this standard.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
Well, shoot.
I like planes.
Third Reichs and the Nazis, they were assholes of the planet, and they died a death that was deserved. Beyond all, they did engineer some pretty cool shit, though.
Yes.
I like planes.
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Speaking of planes, we actually have progress on the Citabria.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see what Cletus got though?
Huh?
Did you see what Cletus got?
Yeah, he got a carbon
Cub.
No, Citabria is Dad started doing. He finished the lacing for the wing ribs, and he's pretty close to having the IA sign it off the cover.
Now, is he actually going to try to fly it or no?
I don't know, but the plan is to finish the plane and get it built. And if he doesn't fly it, then we'll get David Patrick to fly it.
I have a question.
Can I be a
Question.
test dummy? Does this mean I get to
One of
can I
us
be-
may have an answer.
Oh no, Brian has.
I don't know about the test part, but dummy, you've accomplished.
I'm curious.
Yes.
The auction car tonight. Did you actually pick a Bring a Trailer car?
Yeah.
Not bring
No.
a trailer, it's from Cars and Bids.
The Cars and Bids.
Cars and Bids.
Popular on the Cars and Bids lately, huh?
Well, lately it seems. I swear to Christ, I think bring a trailer is money laundering.
Hold on. Oh, you're partial it.
What?
Nothing.
Wait.
I'll
what?
tell you later.
What?
It's like, I swear to Christ, you got a hole in your hand, so.
I do have a little-
He doesn't have the stigmata. He's got the half mata.
It talks. Hello.
Hey, you've got the half mata.
You come from like Titicaca?
Listen, it was Easter. I was trying to get in the spirit. All right.
Oh, sorry, I cracked
Tweedle
myself
Dave,
up.
Tweedledum over here.
Uh-huh. Speaking of
He
back,
started
actually,
it.
ready to move into that?
started it.
Actually, I was kind of thinking about Tweedledum and Tweedledummer.
I'm just a masochist, I guess.
I
Hey,
guess so.
if we can ride a Coleman mini bike all the way across like the United States, let's do it.
Do not put me on a bicycle. I'll go down. I'll go down.
Hey.
Why do you think I don't own a motorcycle?
Wait, hold on.
Hey, my
Are-
bicycle skills aren't so good these days either, so.
Are we talking about the possibility of doing a Coleman mini bike road trip? Is that what we're talking about?
I love that.
Because
No,
I'm
hey.
in.
No.
Coleman's through the forest.
I'll do bikes through the woods. I can do bikes through the woods.
Bet.
How expensive are they?
Do they make a three-wheeled version of one?
No.
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 We need four wheels.
No, but we can
We
get
need
you a
four
go-kart.
Anyway, sorry.
We have to
Cars
modify
and
that, too.
Bids.
I've already been through the go-kart thing.
we can modify a go-kart to work for you.
Cars and bids.
Cars and bids?
Bids and cars.
All right.
So we have
So-
here a...
With all its quirks and features.
The Bat car is right.
This is a 1992 Suzuki Carry truck. 7,600 miles, 4-speed manual
Wow.
Japanese K truck with a U.S. title.
Wow.
Wow.
Really?
Really?
That's a little
Wow.
miles.
Really?
Wow.
Wow. I'm going to computer to go look.
It is currently located in Mesa, Arizona.
It is very
Yo,
happy.
Misa.
It is
The
very
seller-
happy looking.
The seller is AZ Euros, so it is a dealer. This is a 1992 Suzuki Carry truck finished in white with gray interior. It is a Japanese spec right-hand drive K truck with 4-speed manual transmission and is currently titled in Arizona. Reportedly imported from Japan February 2023, it is equipped with a metric instrument cluster and the odometer shows about 12,200 kilometers, which represents approximately 7,600 miles.
It's like a new little
Now,
truck.
is that rolled
Very
over,
nice.
or is it...
I don't think so.
No, Mike, I'm looking under. No, it's not rollover.
Factory equipment includes, this truck was probably used,
Like in a dock or something
like
that.
this was probably never really used out on the road. This was
Yeah.
probably used.
But
Well, no,
even if it was a
probably
dock,
short
you would...
drive shaft is.
if it was a dock vehicle,
do.
you would think
I-
it would...
No,
have
this was
rust.
like
no. If this was a dock vehicle, it'd be covered in rust.
Yeah, that's what I'm
This
saying.
this was used in some sort of like
Or like a warehouse, maybe.
warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
type.
this
Yeah.
was somewhere further inland.
It's,
Okay.
it's so clean underneath.
This was used further inland. I don't know if this
do,
was ever
like I
used on
said,
the
I
road.
love how hilariously short the drive shaft is. It's like
So
nothing.
factory equipment includes a drop-down bed sides, cloth upholstery, hand crank windows, and a radio. Modifications reported by the selling dealer are limited to 10-inch steel wheels and side window rain guards.
10-inch.
Golf cart tires.
Golf car tires are expensive, man.
Exactly.
Power comes from a 657cc 3-cylinder engine rated at approximately 42 horsepower and 42 foot-pounds of torque.
Mm.
Let's see. Yeah. Chips and blemishes around the exterior, because it was obviously used as a work truck. Dings and scratches on the bed, because it was used as a work truck. Side mirror covers are weathered, so it was used outdoors. Discoloration on some interior panels.
Outdoors.
Sweaty guys doing stuff on trucks. Some corrosion on underbody components, but
And
let's
like,
be
I
honest.
looked at the
Let's be
pictures,
honest. It's
That's
a car.
like surface rust.
It's a car from Japan.
It's-
It's going to have some surface rust.
And Mike, it's a tickle of the leaf springs. It's like literally maybe a section this long and this wide of the leaves. It's just
Yeah.
a tickle. On
yeah,
the
I
leaf
mean,
springs
like I
is
said,
it.
the underside of this
Yeah.
thing's like super good.
I got a solid number in mind already.
Service
actually.
documentation in the photo gallery indicates that the following maintenance was performed in February 2023. Engine oil and filter changed, tires, battery, and air filter replaced, and a safety inspection report.
Are you 4 numbers or 5 numbers?
Comes
Oh,
with
four
it
numbers
comes
for
with
sure.
import documents and one key. The selling dealer acquired this carry in October 2022.
Yeah, I'm in the 4-digit range.
You're in 4?
Yeah. Chris is going analyzing.
Yeah, no,
The
that's
thing is, I
that's-
actually want a K truck to play around with. I'd
So
rather
do
have a
I.
K truck than a side by side. And I have found out a couple cars and coffees ago, I barely fit in a Honda Acti.
Well,
Let's put it this way: a Honda Acti would feel kind of like a taco feels to me.
okay.
So, like when I get into a Tacoma or that size truck, that's what a Honda Acti would feel like to him.
Okay. I almost bought a K truck the other day.
I mean, I could-
$79. Yeah.
Dare I ask?
Because Matt and Heather now have their shop right there next to Cattle Dog, and he has a bunch of RC cars for sale.
Oh yeah.
And I about bought first a K truck RC car. Almost bought one. Almost bought one.
Wait, shop full of RC cars. What now?
Whoa, it's a pawn thrift RC car.
So you know
Matt,
where Cattle Dog is right there on
yeah,
46?
and you know Matt. Matt has his does
Matt
his
does.
RC stuff.
You know, Matt
And
from
Heather
he's
was
come
the
to
one that
Pints
took
and
the pictures
Pistons.
at the
He's a gingerish colored hair. He had the RC truck. What?
He was in a band with him.
Yeah.
Matt
Oh,
Johnson.
that Matt.
Yeah,
Yes.
Matt.
Okay.
Matt and
Yeah.
Heather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt
Wait a minute,
Johnson.
he has,
Oh,
he has,
Matt
radio,
Johnson.
he has radio control K truck.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of this radio control K truck?
No, but it's on their thing. But it's $79
Chris,
and
what do
it
you
has a
got for
full
number?
working
All right,
drive
anyways,
shaft, full
bring it up.
switch,
What do
and
you got?
all
Bring it
that
up.
stuff.
Bring it up.
$6,500.
See, I was going 75.
That make me feel bad. I was going 8,600. Damn.
Well, probably because of the low miles and probably because of how clean the underside is.
so I was thinking close to 10. but,
and
like,
probably because of how overall
Shit, it's gonna be a 5.
unmolested this
It's gonna
thing
be a
is.
fucking 5-digit.
11.9.
Told you it was a fucking 5-digit.
Damn.
So yeah, here's the thing though, like.
But yeah,
So
let
I
the
have,
but yeah.
like I said, I have sat in a Honda Acti, and holy crap, it is tight
So
getting
Dan
into.
Dan's closest without going over and that.
So
Really?
so now,
Wow.
like I said, I need to explore other K trucks and see if I can actually fit in one.
Yeah. See, I really thought like the 7.5 was like.
Well, and I knew
high.
the low miles was going to have an effect, and I was thinking like at most maybe 10, but
Yeah.
close to 12. That's
And it
impressive.
might also be because it's a Suzuki Carry, and what two trucks do you most commonly see around? Of all the K trucks
Yeah.
we've seen around here, what do we on see?
Carries
Honda
and
Actis
the
and
Actis.
sandbars.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I've seen one Suzuki Carry around here. I've seen like a half a dozen Actis, a half a dozen sandbars, and I've seen 2 Daihatsu mini jets, and 1 Mitsubishi Mighty Max or Mini Max.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mighty Max is like the pickup truck.
Yeah, the Mini Max.
But anyway, guys,
Alrighty.
have an excellent night. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more spicy
But I mean,
topics and
yeah.
Look how
spicy
clean that
beers.
friggin' thing is.
I know.
It is
That thing was awesome.
Oh shit.
So, and it has all the lights and all that stuff on the
Oh,
thing.
he's selling WPL stuff.
Yep. Full
Okay.
drive shaft.
What is he
Two-wheel
got a
drive?
shop up there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right next to Catalog.
So
Okay,
it's
I gotta go
It's
up
basically
there.
a pawn shop.
No, it's the Johnson Family Exchange.
I gotta run
and all
up
that. But he's doing all his RC stuff through there too, and then Heather's doing.
I gotta go up
And then
all
with the
her
RC stuff, he's partnered up with that guy that's right up just past
Yeah.
the Ford dealership up here.
And so he, Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there
so
a hobby shop up there?
yeah, so you got the Ford dealership, and then you've got the battery store, and then you've got the adult store, and then you've got the next plaza right next to that where the liquor store is. Right on the end, there's a place that does hobbies.
Really?
So,
Dump it in there.
too.
but he's doing all that. He's got a bunch of tracks, parts, and all that. Me and him are going back and forth because I almost bought it and all that. And he's like, listen, he's like, that's really good for like inside stuff and all that. And he had a couple like crawlers, small crawlers the same size.
So is that
And
two-wheel
that-
drive or four-wheel drive?
That one's 2-wheel drive, but I was looking at like a Toyota crawler and all that. He's like, listen, he's like, you put that in any type of grass, he's like, it ain't gonna do anything. He's like, that's really good for like your inside, you're trying to go over some books, stuff like that. He's like, it's great. He's like, it's not gonna be like any of my other stuff. Me and him were talking about like some of the drag cars because like Trax just put out that Fox body and all that for $250. You get it, but it doesn't come with a battery, anything like that. You're looking at about $400 to $500 with everything and that. He's like, check it out on Marketplace. He's like, if that comes up, he's like, send me the link. He's like, I'll bring him down and all that. He's like, because I know what I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but that K truck, I really fucking wanted that K truck. $79. Seriously. And that's with the remote and everything. $79.
All right, guys.
We didn't stop it. I thought
You
Yeah,
didn't
we
stop
haven't
it?
stopped it yet.
I turned the live sign up and I went
Oh,
to sign, but he
I-
stopped it.
I
Alright,
thought we
guys,
stopped it
have a
too.
good
Have a good night, everybody. Nobody ever said have a good night or nothing.
No.
We were just like starting to talk. All right.